I want to go across live at this moment to Sidharth Singh, senior BJP leader from Uttar Pradesh. He was sent by the party to Chhattisgarh at a time when the party, even in its internal surveys, was trailing. From there, Sidharth Singh, one of the key strategists in scripting a remarkable BJP victory akin to snatching victory from the jaws of defeat. In case our viewers have just tuned in, I want to welcome Sidharth Singh and show the figures on the election dashboard at this moment. 54 wins and leads for the BJP, up 39 from the last time. The Congress at 36, down 32. And if you look at the historic time graph of Chhattisgarh, this is the strongest BJP performance since the state was formed. It's never had 54 seats. Sidharth Singh, congratulations on a very historic and memorable performance.
No, thank you very much. But the credit doesn't go to me. The credit goes to our senior leaders and definitely those who were placed like Om Mathurji, Mansukh Mandviya, my colleague Naveen Nitin, and there were other workers. But certainly it is a historical win, and the historical win has been led by nobody but Prime Minister Modi ji and Amit Shah ji, who is truly the chessboard master. He is the Chanakya. He used to guide us, and our president. So all those are, we are just the implementers. But at the end of the day, it was an election. And I do remember, Rahul, talking to you some time back at Piyush Goyalji's function. And you were also not very willing to accept that, yes, there is a possibility. So I think it's a great victory. And BJP winning 3-1. So I hate to use those words, but since the Congress has used it recently in the cricket match, so during the World Cup, and now really I would like to ask Congress, who is the Panoti in their party and who should be called the Panoti of the opposition? So let's decide on that.
Okay, interesting. Yes, all the data, in fact, at that time did show the Congress in the lead, and from there you've been able to turn it around, which is quite remarkable. There's a 4% vote share gap. The BJP 46% vote share, the Congress at 42% vote share. If I look at a historical map of Telangana, of Chhattisgarh when it comes to votes, this is the highest vote share the BJP has had. It had 39% vote share in 2003, 40% in 2008, 41% in 13, 33% in 2018. From there, 13% up at 46 this time. That is electorally quite a remarkable performance, given especially how all the data seem to suggest that the Bhupesh Baghel government wasn't that unpopular. So you were obviously able to stitch a campaign, which in terms of campaign management will go down in legend as an epic victory of electioneering and management. You spoke of the prowess on the chessboard, political chessboard of Amit Shah. Give our viewers, Sidharth, some insights. What did you learn from him in terms of how he plotted this campaign?
I think the way he brought, to begin with, not the manifesto to begin with, but initially we had come up with Wada Khilafi of Bhupesh Baghel, the promises they had made in 2018. Now, that needed to be highlighted, and Amit Bhai was very clear that the strategy needs to fall first, expose him, that he hasn't done what he claims to be. And in that, we used the good offices of Amit Shah ji to get Piyush Goyal just 2 days before the parliament had begun in September. And Piyush Goyal came up and, explained that 2,600 rupees, in 2,600 rupees with the Bhupesh Baghel claims that it is being given for the rice growers, that actually MSP is 2,100. So, like that. And then one day in the morning, I was talking to him and I said that you had, during the Wada Khilafi, you had said that it is Bhoop Pay. So I'm going to, make few ads and we're going to come out with these scams. So he says, no, don't do like this. Make into a bigger event. So he was kind of an event manager also and directing us how to do it. And then Anurag Thakur came in. And that press conference, Anurag Thakur, I think was a great hit. So, many things like this has happened. And therefore, I can only say that this was an experience to us in this election, which perhaps since last 30 years of being in party and as a worker, I haven't seen. So
No,
the
it's actually a
chessboard,
big
he
victory
was.
for you. I remember you were last sent to West Bengal. Things didn't end up quite well over there for you. And it was a tough fight as well. You fought hard but didn't win. Here, it was again a tough fight where you were sent. You fought hard and this time the results are very different. So it must feel like a big relief.
Well, I think so. Yes, it is a relief. But yes, but West Bengal also. Rahul, we were never there in West Bengal. And West Bengal, under the leadership of Amit Shah ji, he was my party president. He gave me a free hand there. I think we went ahead and exposed many things of Mamata Banerjee. And that still continues. One of them was the big exposure to dent her image was the Sharda scam. And here again, it was the PC which I was made to do by the central leadership. And there also the PC on Mahadev app, which I did from Raipur, I think that made a lot of dent. So there were many coordinations who to do,
Do you think the
what to do.
Mahadev app was a factor? Some top BJP leaders who I spoke to, who I can't and shan't name, said, you know, those things which come too late in the campaign, they help in the hawa, but they don't really influence the vote as much. It's important to push that through, but it's not really a game change.
I don't think so. The basic thing was required is in last few years, Bhupesh Baghel had made a kind of an aura around him that he is the best chief minister. He is a deliverable chief minister. He has done so many things like this. So for us, it was important. And as I said, Amit Bhai had said, to expose him, dent his image. Now, you can't dent an image by simply simply not, making like the acquisitions made by the Congress. Rahul Gandhi comes and makes one acquisition every time on the industrialist. So you have to come with facts and figures. So we were able to draw those facts and figures and then bring the attention of, the voters, and particularly then get it related with the campaign. And also the leaders who were coming were to asked to speak the same, issues. So all these things put together brought a great campaign, and perhaps it will go down, at least in Chhattisgarh, I would say, an election which has never been witnessed. And somebody who has been able to, or the party which has been able to draw a victory from a defeat.
Prime Minister Modi is tweeted. I want to take our viewers through the tweet, and I'll get Sidharth Singh to respond what this means for the Prime Minister. Let's take you through the first reaction we've seen from the Prime Minister after these results came out. The results in Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan indicate that the people of India are firmly with the politics of good governance and development, which the BJP for India stands for. I thank the people of these states for their unwavering support and assure them that we'll keep working tirelessly for their well-being. A special thanks to the hard-working party Karyakartas. Each of them is exemplary. They have worked tirelessly and highlighted our achievements. That's Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Sidharth Singh, talking about this big result. If I look at the national overall picture that emerges from these numbers, in the 638 seats where counting was on today, the BJP winning decisively on 346, the Congress being able to bag only 229, suggesting wherever the punch-up is between the BJP and the Congress, BJP is the odds-on favorite to win.
Well, again, it shows the confidence of the voters in the Prime Minister and the way he has led the country in difficult times, particularly during the COVID and the war which was happening between Ukraine, Russia, and keeping the economy intact. All those things have brought a favorable result for the BJP, but it's his leadership which has been, accepted by the voters in India. And therefore, our slogan of Modi ki guarantee is a hit, and it's a game changer, because I saw in Chhattisgarh, wherever we added that, public was ready to believe. Whether it was women, we said 12,000 rupees to those jo vivahit mahilaएं hain, then to the farmers, and then we gave it to for the yuva, that USPSC.
No, but tell me one thing.
That
the
happened,
BJP initially, Mr. Singh, for so long was pushing against freebies. Then you saw how they worked for the Congress in Karnataka, in Himachal Pradesh. Now, you can give it whatever spin you want. For all practical purposes, some of the promises that you're talking about and the BJP now has in its manifesto are, for all practical purposes, exactly the kind of situation you were trying to avoid initially.
No, I think, Rahul, we need to differentiate between a welfare scheme and a freebies. So one can't really get, it's a very thin line which we need to draw. So welfare schemes
Sir,
are always
aapki
a
welfare
welfare
scheme
scheme.
laddu, unki welfare scheme revdi hai. It's like kind of the same thing actually.
No, well, a lot of you can turn around that it's a freebie. Why you're giving 8 to 80 crores? That's the biggest thing which has been enrolled or rolled out by the central government to the BPL people, 80 crores. So please do understand there is an inflation because of many variety of reasons, economic reasons you can add to it. Now, if there is a inflation, if you are supporting these families during the poor families during the inflationary side, then you are in a position for them to add an asset. They become an asset and they add value to your GDP. So it's how you take these welfare schemes. You can call it a freebies, but certainly when the idea goes is definitely to give a empowerment and strengthening through welfare schemes this poor section of the society.
Last question about the VIPs in Chhattisgarh. So many Congress ministers, heavyweights in the Bhupesh Baghel government, or supposed heavyweights in the Bhupesh Baghel government, have lost. And that really shows, like the likes of Deputy Chief Minister T.S. Singh, he's also ended up losing at least half a dozen ministers in the Baghel government losing. What does that say, according to you, about, like, for example, even Tamraj Dar Swahu in Durg Gramin has lost? So what does that say about the anti-incumbency against these ministers in what was projected by the Congress as a performing state government?
Well, certainly it does show anti-incumbency. There is an anti-incumbency, but the anti-incumbency is because of their non-performance, because of their corruption, because of their promises which they were unable to deliver. For example, T.S. Singh, although he did resign on that count, but he was the minister for the panchayat. He was to deliver those houses. The Prime Minister Awas, he was to deliver. So 16 lakh they had promised in 2018. They could only deliver 3 lakh of them. So these are certain promises which when you are unable to deliver, the public then responds, and they respond always after 5 years, and they responded this time.
Okay, we'll leave it over there. We'll have the Madhya Pradesh Chief Minister, the man who's led the BJP to a historic victory, joining us in a moment. That's Sidharth Singh, joining us, a key architect of that famous victory. He says, in the political history of Chhattisgarh, this really will be seen as a remarkable turnaround in fortunes, to come back so far behind midway through the campaign and show that you can find a way of winning. That's really what the modern day BJP poll machine is capable of.